Welcome, family. Glad you're able to join us again. My name is Tanesha Williams. I'm our director of organizing here at FAM. And today we have a very special guest joining us, our director of communications, Rabiah Burks. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I do want to take a couple of minutes to let you know right now, and I'm going to remind you again in a couple of more minutes that we will be asking you to do something at the end. So just prepare your minds. But before then, I want to let Rabiah introduce yourself. Go ahead, Rabiah.
Hi, family. My name is Rabiah Burks. I am the Director of Communications for FAM. You rarely see me, but I'm everywhere. I'm always there. And I do a lot of the back work in terms of like our marketing, branding, communications, media relations work, and then coordinating the team to get all of our concerns out to the public and to the world. And thanks for having me.
I'm glad that you're here. So today we're going to discuss a topic that is super important. It's called the Visit a Prison Challenge, and I'm going to let Rabia tell us a little bit about what that is. And the reason why we're on the show together is because communications mixed with organizing are powerful tools to be able to advocate. And so we wanted to come on here together to talk to you about what we have coming up next week for you. So can you give us a little bit of background on why we're doing this challenge? Tell us a little bit more about what the challenge is.
Yes. So, couple of months ago, actually, Kevin came to all of us and he was like, I really want to, I really wish lawmakers would go visit a prison and I want to encourage them to go. And the communications team, the organizing team, and the policy team, it was like everybody would love to get involved and be able to challenge their lawmakers to go and visit a prison. It's something that we all have either done or we know someone who has been in prison before and or is currently incarcerated, and we advocate on behalf of our loved ones all the time. And so we all decided that, hey, we're going to put all of our mutual talents into play and we're going to make this a huge visit a prison challenge, hashtag visit a prison. So recently what we decided to do was we wanted a role for everybody. We wanted a role for the public. We wanted the role for influencers. We wanted a role for lawmakers. And so we are challenging lawmakers to visit a prison. We have influencers asking their lawmakers to visit a prison. And then we need you, the families, to join us in asking your lawmakers to visit a prison.
Yeah, so I'll say one thing that we also heard a lot, and what I think maybe prompted Kevin was the fact that from you all, family members, you were telling us some of your stories about when you went to visit a prison and some of those challenges that you faced as a result of visiting prisons. And we were recently receiving pictures of prison conditions. We talked about this a little bit in our last Facebook Live about the mold on the walls and the violence. And there are just so many issues that are impacting people who are incarcerated and their loved ones who have to deal with it too. And so it's super important that we make sure that our lawmakers know what's going on, because if you don't know, if you don't go, you don't know what's happening. And so we want to make sure that our lawmakers know what's going on. So can you tell us why are we asking our families? What's the importance of making sure that families use their voices to advocate on social media platforms specifically?
As simple as it is, or it sounds, to share your story or to use the hashtag or just tag your lawmakers, lawmakers, especially state and local lawmakers, and even federal lawmakers, they want to hear from their constituents. So don't forget that the power of your own voice and your own community holds more weight than me in Washington or any of us anywhere else. I can't convince your lawmaker to go and visit a prison. You actually can do that. And as small as it seems to use the hashtag or like post on or share, it makes a big difference because you become visible, and as a collective you become visible. So that's the reason why you want people to tag their own lawmakers. I can't do it for you. As small as it sounds, we definitely need you to contact your own lawmakers.
Yeah, so there are many of you from all over the country who we want to get involved with this challenge. It's 3 steps, and I'm going to probably repeat these steps a couple of times because we want to make sure that you feel like you have the tools that you need to be able to advocate for yourselves and for your loved ones. So the first step is to record a video. hold up the phone, take a selfie, and say why it's so important to visit a prison. Tell your lawmakers why it's important to visit a prison. Then you're going to post that video on your Facebook page. And then the last step is to tag at Fam Foundation. And so again, I think one of the key pieces that you said in terms of the power of social media is the fact that, you know, social media has really become a tool to be able to advocate for people across the country. And there's power in numbers, right? So if we have one person that's posting a visit a prison video versus 50 people who decide to post a video, visit a prison video, then that just amplifies the voices of folks who are out here fighting on the day to day. And I think social media is just like a huge part of that. And it's something that folks can get behind because you don't have to leave home. You can stay right there. You can stay on your couch. You can be driving to work, and right before you go in, you take that 30 seconds and you make a video so that lawmakers see how important it is to visit a prison.
Yeah, so like there's a huge amount of power in online advocacy. There are whole organizations that have been started simply by online advocacy. And you being able to just sharing that hashtag, posting on Twitter, posting on Facebook in mass numbers gets a lot of people interested in what you're doing. And then remember, you're not the only one. Just because we in FAM talk about this every day, there are 1 in 4 people who have had a loved one who has been incarcerated. So this is an issue that reaches a lot of different people across the country. And this in particular challenge has the power, I believe, to take off in a way that we've never expected. So I think that visiting a prison, using the visit a prison hashtag, and not only that, but using your voice and telling your stories will get lawmakers interested across the nation, especially people who are seeking office and other types of positions. They want to hear from you, and they can see you. They will see you on social en masse.
Yeah. So it's hashtag visit a prison. And we have everything that you need to be able to make this effective. And so what we're going to do in the chat box is we're going to post a link to our pledge. If you click on this pledge, type in your information, you'll get all that you need to be able to complete this challenge. And please feel free, if you have questions as we are talking about this Visit a Prison challenge, ask your questions in the chat box. We have our wonderful FAM staff who's located in the chat box to answer your questions. So we do have one question that says, what if you can't get a phone in there? So we'll take a couple of steps back. What we're asking is for you, family members, people who have a loved one that's incarcerated, advocates. If you don't have a single person that's incarcerated, but you know prison conditions for people are horrible, we're asking you to take a video with your phone and tell lawmakers why they should visit a prison. So that's our whole goal, is to make sure that lawmakers who are passing policies that are impacting loved ones, who are passing policies that are impacting everyday people, we're asking them to go and visit a prison so that they can see what's happening in prisons. So your charge is to take a video of yourself saying, hey, my lawmaker in Maryland, I want you to come and visit a prison so that you can see the horrible conditions that are happening here. That was a great question, Nessa May. Thank you.
And I just want to just throw out there that we want you to do this, to challenge your lawmakers as a way of making sure that they go. And because they can see things and they have access to places that you don't have access to. So all those questions you are worried about your loved ones, or you want to know about a prison, or you want them to know about what your loved one is experiencing, your lawmakers actually can go and see those things. They can ask to see rehabilitation centers. They can ask to see visiting rooms. They can ask to see conditions that are there. So you're asking them to see what you don't have access to, essentially.
Yeah. You can ask them to go and sit down in the cafeteria. I know for my Mississippi people who are dealing with the issues in Parchman, ask them to go sit in the cafeteria and see what the people there are eating. Ask them to go and look at the shower stall so that people can see what's happening. Tell them to go through the actual visitation process so that they can see all the things that loved ones have to endure in order to visit their loved one that's incarcerated. So that's our charge today. Like, We want you as family members to take ownership of this, because it's you, right? Like, as an advocate for your loved one, you can do whatever you want to do on the ground by yourself. But when people from all across the country come together and say, on July 8th, we are dedicated to making sure that we post a video on social media so that our lawmakers across the country can see it, so that people really understand what's happening and that we're not so isolated. That's when change happens, and that's where the power comes from. So we are asking you to take the pledge. It's in the link. Make sure you go in there, put your information in there. You will get a toolkit that has all the information you need to be able to answer, to be able to post a video. We have another question. Miss Antoinette from Pittsburgh is asking, how many videos should I make? Knowing me, I will make at least one video a week. Make 50 videos a week if you
Yes.
want to, Antoinette. Definitely make one a day, make one a week. This is ongoing. We are urging lawmakers every single week to make sure that they are going to visit a prison. And so July 8th is the day that it starts, and that's on Monday. So we definitely want you to post a video then, but we want you posting as much as possible.
Yes, we are. So lawmakers, we have given them 12 months to go and visit a prison. And so hopefully your lawmakers will take the pledge. The goal is to get them to take the pledge to visit, and then we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to ask them, did you go visit a prison, and make sure they actually follow through what they said. So yeah, post every week. We hear you, and they need to hear you as well.
All right, Charlene, at the state level, should we ask all the lawmakers or a specific group? All your lawmakers, ask them to visit a prison. There are 3 steps again. So the first one is to record your video. The second one is to post your video to your personal page. And the third one is to tag at Fam Foundation. If you don't have all of your lawmakers handles or Twitter handles or Facebook names, we will make sure that they get tagged for you. If you do know your lawmakers, tag them as well. So ask your lawmakers to visit a prison. And we will have a couple of examples that we're going to show you in a couple of minutes so that you can see the process and what it looks like. And we're also going to have the lovely Rabiah is going to, on the spot, record her video so that you can see how it goes. And we're also, again, going to ask you to record it. So make sure if you have questions, you're throwing them up on the screen, because we want to make sure, again, that you're successful and that you have the tools that you need to be able to do this successfully. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so another part of this, the reason why we say all lawmakers is because at some point, most lawmakers, policymakers, they touch a criminal justice related bill. And it is not okay for lawmakers to continue to vote on bills and make decisions about our loved ones and people who are going to prison and coming out of prison without having ever been to a prison. You all have gone, we all have gone, and we have visited the prisons. We've seen what it's like. And so for someone to make a decision about your loved one's life without having ever stepped foot in a prison and or not regularly enough to make an informed decision, I mean, you would hope that people who make decisions on other issues would actually go and see the facilities, like a school, if you're making a decision on education, or, like there's some common ground to that. So all I'm saying is that we want lawmakers to be able to make informed decisions about the bills and all of the policies that they either vote on, they write, that affect our loved ones. They have to, and they should go visit a prison at least once a year.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And I know many of you advocate for your loved ones on all kinds of levels. You have written letters to your lawmakers, you have called your lawmakers, you have shown up at a lobby day, and those things are so important. And we were able to see change as a result of all of you all coming together. I just think about our First Step Act when we asked you all to call your lawmakers, and all of you called your lawmakers, and we were getting notifications that mailboxes were full and that people couldn't get through, because what you all decided to do was come together across the country. Even if you couldn't see the person next to you calling their lawmaker, you still came together. And so that is exactly what we're asking you to do right here in this space. We do have a question from Cassie. I may have missed it, but how is FAM requesting lawmakers to pledge to visit a prison? Will you let us know which lawmakers have taken the pledge? We definitely will let you know which lawmakers are taking a pledge.
So Kevin is sending out a letter to all policymakers on July 8th to let them know that we're issuing the Visit a Prison Challenge, and to ask them to take the pledge. And we have a social media graphic that they can post to say that they've taken a pledge. They can contact our policymakers to let them know that they're taking the pledge. Yeah. We'll be monitoring that hashtag. That's why it's really important that everybody uses it. And we will be posting a list of names of people who have taken the pledge. So we'll keep people accountable. And if you see that your lawmaker has, help us out and tell us, hey, you may have missed this post, but so-and-so has taken a pledge, and we will definitely follow up. So.
And the hashtag again is hashtag visit a prison. It's all one word right after the hashtag, and the hashtag is the number sign. So hashtag visit a prison. We're also, like Rabiah said, going to have graphics for you to be able to use to post. If you just want to keep, if you're feeling this in your spirit and you're like, I'm posting every single day, do it. And we will also have a Facebook graphic for you to change your profile picture so that everyone that you're friends with can see the importance of making sure that lawmakers visit a prison. We have another question from Diamond. Are we focusing solely on lawmakers or others in the justice field that may be able to make a difference as well? Yeah, so Rabiah mentioned earlier, when we say influencers, we also mean people who work in different capacities, whether that's in other criminal justice reform organizations, whether that's people who are, influential in different spaces, singers, songwriters, all kinds of people. We're asking from across the spectrum. We want a diversity of people to post a visit a prison challenge, but we're asking you as family members and advocates who are doing this work every single day for your loved one. We're asking you to on your lives, and we're going to do all the other to make sure that people across the board are able to join us in this challenge. So yeah, I think we may have had a little technical difficulty. So if you could just repeat what you said a little bit about the importance and
the importance of visiting, why we're asking lawmakers to visit. Yeah. Okay, so essentially, what I said, for those who didn't catch it, yes. The reason why we're focusing on lawmakers, and why not just lawmakers but policymakers, and why we want them to go and visit a prison, and why it's so important for us to call on them to do so, is because a lot of them make policy, they sign bills, they interact with the criminal justice system, or they make decisions that impact all of us all the time, state, local, federal, and they make these decisions, some of them, and they haven't been to a prison in a year, 2 years, 3 years. And that's not acceptable, essentially. And we should be asking them to go frequently so that they can understand what they're voting on and who they're affecting. It's not fair. Normally a lawmaker or anybody has been to a school or they've been to a hospital. So when they make decisions about bills like that, they at least understand the context of which they're right. Yeah. But visiting a prison, we're asking them, like, we really don't want you voting on bills if the last time you visited a prison was 20 years ago or 5 years ago even. Every year we go, our families go, and we see so many things, and we know that things change, and we know that prison conditions vary, and that if they see for themselves, they'll be able to vote and know exactly how their vote impacts real people every day.
Yes. We have a question, Diane Cabrera. What about retribution from prison officials? I don't want to say something and then have a prison official do something bad to my loved one. So we completely understand the caution in terms of posting a video and something potentially happening to your loved one. So we're not asking you at all to post your loved one's name. We're not asking you at all to do anything that's going to put your loved one in harm. You're going to see in a couple of seconds a video of what you can do. You don't even have to personalize it. I know there's still a lot of stigma around sharing your story because of things like this. And so we don't want you to do something that you feel like may be uncomfortable, but there are so many ways that you can still post about having lawmakers visit a prison in a way that is very general and broad. And we're going to give you some of those examples. And if you haven't signed up to take the pledge to do this video, sign up, because we do have some resources in there that has tons of things that you can say on your post, or that you can write on your Facebook page. But I definitely get it, Diane. So we got not necessarily a question, but a comment from Jesse. I hope they will take the time to talk with inmates during their visit, not just administration and orchestrated visit. We have a voice right along with our families. Yes, 100%. So in your video, say that. Like, tell them, don't have an orchestrated visit. We want you to show up and we want you to visit and we want you to walk around, not as a senator, not as a representative, but as a human being that may potentially have someone locked up so that they can see and feel everything that's happening and that's going on. So we're going to show a quick video. I'm going to go ahead, Rabiah.
I did want to say this too. The policy team, the FAM's policy team, Kevin and the rest of everybody, in the rules to lawmakers about taking a pledge and visiting prison, they bullet point that exactly. They outline, do not go and just take the guided tour that they give you. Ask to see certain things. So if you go on the toolkit page, you'll see and you can just click on the lawmakers challenge rules and you can read them, but they basically spell out everything that they would like for them to do. They already thought about it. They got you.
Yes. We got you. So we're going to show you a quick video so you can see it's not that daunting. It may be a bit challenging, but I did this in my office just for you. So I'm going to let you see this video and then we'll go back to questioning. And again, prepare yourself because we are going to ask you at the end of this video to make a video for the challenge. All right.
I'm challenging my representatives in Maryland and Congress to visit a prison. Every year, this country spends billions of dollars locking people up. And yet prisons and jails have almost no oversight or accountability to taxpayers. As somebody who was in prison, I didn't know anything about what life was going to be like inside. I didn't know if it was going to be safe, whether there was going to be any health care, programming, treatment, anything to make people better when they came out. And my sense is that very few representatives know because they haven't visited a prison. And you simply can't know if you don't go. And so I'm urging all my lawmakers, visit a prison.
My name is Tanesha Williams. I'm the Director of Organizing for FAM. And today I'm asking my Maryland lawmakers to visit a prison. Every single day I get a call from family members about the horrible conditions that their loved ones are forced to live in. Everything from mold to exposed wiring, to flooded cells, to violence. This has to stop. Maryland lawmakers, visit a prison today. All right, so you just saw two videos, one of Kevin asking for his lawmakers to visit a prison, and then one for me asking for the same. Mine was very broad, but again, it got to the heart of the matter, which is I want my lawmakers in Maryland to visit a prison. We got a question from Antoinette. How long should the video be? The shorter the better, just so people have time to watch it. We're saying 30 seconds to a minute. One, so that people watch it. Two, so that we can repost them on all of our social media platforms. And so a lot of our social media platforms have a 1 minute max. So that's a hard line. Doesn't have to be long, 30 seconds, say why it's important. And again, urge your lawmakers to visit a prison. So again, 3 steps: record the video, post it on your personal page, tag at FAM Foundation. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to have Rabiah right now for you record a visit a prison video. As she is recording this, a couple of things to think about. Those 3 steps. One, she's picking up her phone, she's recording it, she's going to post it on her page, and she's going to tag at FAM Foundation. As she's going through this process, you'll see her doing various things. She is angling the phone a little bit. What did you say that does?
So for those of you who are concerned, you look a little bit slimmer if you do a little angle like this. You know, you can angle it. I mean, not that you care. You shouldn't care. It's not about that. But I do. So I'm going to angle my camera.
And make sure the lighting, if you are in a space, make sure the lighting is good. And if you have some interesting background, you can do it in front of that. But honestly, what matters to us is that people, as many people as possible, are creating this video. That's what's important. So get the lighting right if you have time. Make sure the background is good if you have time. But most importantly, just make the video. So Rabiah, you ready?
Yes, I got my look.
Ready.
Hi, my name is Rabiah Burks, and I am a resident of Washington, D.C. I am calling on all of my lawmakers to visit a prison. I work every day for FAM Foundation, and I hear the stories of families, and I myself have been affected and impacted by incarceration. And I want all of you guys to visit a prison, because so many of you guys make bills and laws that impact those people that need the help the most. So please, #visit a prison.
Hey, give her in the chat box right now. Give her a shout out. Say, go Rabiah. That's Rabia. Say, go Rabiah. That was it. That was 30 seconds. She, again, pull the phone out, press record. She's going to post it and then tag at FAM Foundation. We also have Twitter and Instagram too. And so if you do not have Facebook, or you want to post it across all of your social media platforms, tag us at FAM Foundation on Twitter. Tag us at FAM Foundation on Instagram, and tag us at FAM Foundation on Facebook. And if you don't know your lawmakers, we will make sure that we tag your lawmakers, and we'll keep track of the lawmakers who have visited a prison. So we're nearing the end. So now it's about to be on you.
Yeah.
Rabiah did her part. If you hadn't put go Rabiah in the chat, put it in there. We're asking you now, take 30 seconds. Pull out your phone. If you're on your laptop, pull out your phone. If you're on your phone, pull out your laptop. If you're around friends, grab a friend's phone. Pull the phone out. Record your 30-second video. Why do lawmakers need to visit a prison? This can be as simple as visit a prison because you need to see what's happening. If you don't know, if you don't go, you don't know. This can be a personal story of a time you went to visit a prison and you couldn't get in because you had a wire in your bra and they said, nope, you got to go back. It could be a time that you went and you flew from New York to California and they were on lockdown. And so you wasted all that money and you couldn't even see your loved one. Whatever it is that is motivating you to make sure that our lawmakers know the importance of visiting a prison, we want you to tell that story right now. So take 30 seconds, pull out your phone, record your video, keep it.
Yeah, and I just would like to say that one of the things that people are always, scared of posting or taking video because they're afraid of what they look like or how they speak and all that other kind of stuff. I just want to tell you that whatever your worst fear is, it is not there. It's probably a personal kind of feel for how, and people want to see their constituents. I mean, it's just similar to showing up and saying, hey, you may not be at the lobby day, but you are at your house and you're telling them, like, I'm here, I'm telling you, I want you to visit prison. And seeing a face and knowing the diversity of people around here who need for lawmakers to visit a prison is so important. So take the time and do that video. We really want to see your faces.
Yeah, and it's the everyday people. It's you who are fighting on the ground every single day for your loved one. You are important and you matter in this. And so your lawmakers need to know that you are important and that you matter. And like Rabiah said, you're not there physically showing up at their door, but they'll see it. They'll see your video and they'll know, all right, I have this group of people in this state who are urging me to go visit a prison before I touch any criminal justice reform bill, before I sign anything or partner with anyone. I need to go and visit this prison. So make sure that you are recording your video and that on July 8th, you post that video, and you post a video again on the 9th if you want to, and the 10th and 11th and 12th and every day. We want to make sure that our lawmakers are seeing the importance of visiting a prison. So it's #visit a prison. If you just made a video while we were talking, I want you in the chat box to say done. And for our viewers who can't watch it right now, but will watch it later on, once you have recorded your video, let us know you've recorded your video by putting done in the chat box when you do decide to watch this video. We want to know who are the people who are, deciding to take on this challenge and saying, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to tell my lawmakers to visit a prison.
And the beauty of this challenge, the absolute beauty of this challenge is everyone can participate. You can participate wherever you are, however you want to do it. And it's so important that your voice is going to impact so many people and so many lives outside of yourselves and your loved ones, just simply by being at your house or being in your car. I like the car ones too, by the way, taking video. And just, you're going to make a huge difference, more than you know.
Yeah. So we've got a question from Audrey. Will you provide a letter or a script for us to use when we write or call our representative? So the whole purpose of this is to do either a video or a post on your Facebook page. And we do have the tools that you need to be able to do that. Audrey, if you haven't, there's a posting in the chat box. Click on it, say that you're going to take the pledge, and you're going to receive a toolkit. And this toolkit is going to have tons of examples for you to be able to use when you write your post on social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And it's going to also have examples, again, of what you can say in your video if you decide to do a video instead of a post. There are also graphics that are going to be located in this if you just want to post a graphic instead of yourself. So we want to see you. If you want to post a graphic, please feel free to post your graphic with the hashtag. That's what's going to help us track. So make sure you're using that hashtag, visit a prison, so that we can make sure your lawmakers are visiting a prison.
Yeah. And if you are on Twitter, I mean, I know a lot of people on Facebook don't cross over to Twitter. It's just all this technical stuff. But if you are on Twitter and you want to post on the 8th or thereafter, please do the same. Just @Found Foundation when you do so, and use the hashtag visit a prison, and we will share your content. There's going to be an all-day Twitter chat, by the way, on the 8th. So even if if you are on Twitter and you want to check it out, you're going to hear from all different organizations about why it's important for lawmakers to visit a prison. So this campaign it's a lot huger than we are articulating here. But I really would like for you guys to participate in as many ways as you can, but whatever you can do, I'm okay with.
Yeah, like she said, this campaign is huge. This challenge is not just us, right? Like there are over 15 organizations who are going to be on our Twitter chat. We've already reached out to tons of advocates and people from across the country, and we've gotten their videos, and we're ready for them, and they're committed to doing videos as well. We're trying to cover all bases. So that's why we're talking to you today, to make sure that you also have the tools that you need to join us in this fight, as you've been joining us in this fight since we've been around. And so again, make sure that if you have not taken the pledge, that you click on that Take a Pledge button, you fill out your information, and you get access to the toolkit that's going to give you all the resources that you need to be able to do this. As Rabiah said, use all platforms of social media if you're comfortable. @FAM Foundation is our handle on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So that's @FAMM Foundation on all social media. And it's 3 steps. Record your video, put it on your personal page, and tag @FAM Foundation. If you know your lawmakers, that extra step, tag them too. But we'll handle it if you don't know the lawmakers' names. Again, we appreciate you for joining us. We are here for you. If you have any more questions, make sure you're using the chat box feature. Share this video with your friends. Share this video with your colleagues, with anyone, so that everyone sees and knows the importance of making sure that we are getting people to visit a prison that impact us.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right,
Bye.
y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Peace.